press record. All right, so thank you everybody for joining us this evening, and welcome first of all to my kitchen, and then I'm going to hand over to Sarah, who is going to do some cooking for her kitchen. So I'll just introduce myself. I know a lot of you already, but for those that I don't know, my name is Lyndsay. I'm a trained chef, and I am one of those people that said no to Thermomix for 5 years because I could cook. I just thought it was something that I didn't really need. I loved cooking. I can do everything from scratch. And I wasn't prepared to sort of open my mind and see what it could do for me. Then one evening, I ended up at a demo. I'd had an advisor knocking on my door for quite a few years to say, please let me show it to you. It's amazing. You'll love it. The chefs love it. All the pros use them. And I said, still not interested. Love cooking. Ended up at a demo one night and was just absolutely blown away with it. 3 months later, I bought my first one to use in my food business. And then a few months after that, I trained as an advisor and joined Thermomix because I absolutely love sharing my passion for these machines with people that are either like me, that love to cook, or people who can't cook, because it is truly, truly life-changing. So I'm just going to hand over to Sarah to introduce herself. Hold on, if I can pin Sarah. Oh, where is she? Is it all in? Sarah, spotlight for everybody. Okay, so that should put you on to Sarah, wearing an amazing apron.
Yeah, sorry, I was just feeling a bit warm in the kitchen. Hi, I'm Sarah. A lot of you know me as Cutty. I can't cook, and I never liked cooking. I had no confidence in cooking whatsoever. And then somebody told me about Thermomix, so I looked into it, and I actually bought it for my husband just before Christmas for his birthday. And I thought it'd make his life easier, being able to cook for me a bit, a bit easier. But anyway, it blew my mind, and since we've got it, it's been a complete game changer in the kitchen. I can cook now. Well, I'm a sous chef to this. It's just been fantastic, and we fight over who's going to cook tea now, so we're all happy.
Yeah, fantastic. Okay, right, I'll come back to me. All right, so let's spotlight me. Brilliant. Okay, so we've got quite a full menu for you this evening, because it's really the sort of the key part of this machine is just its versatility, and the fact that one machine can do so many different functions. In fact, I think we counted it earlier, didn't we, Sarah? And we're up to sort of 27. It replaces about 27 different appliances in your kitchen in just one machine. So the aim of tonight is just to give you a really broad overview of what it can do. We're going to make some bread, and you'll see how fast it makes bread. I'm going to make some butter as well, which is always something that blows people's mind. We're going to do a main course using all the different levels of the machine, and I will explain that a little bit later on as we come to it. Sarah's going to make some lemonade, a lemon drizzle cake, and then a frozen fruit sorbet as well. So we've got a lot to get through, but hopefully we'll be finished cooking within about an hour. And yes, we are going to attempt to do all of that in the hour. And then if you've got questions at the end, we'll happily answer those questions for you. And I'll talk to you in between times a little bit about Thermomix as well. So before we start, I'm just going to give you a very, very quick overview of this machine. So just unplug you from my tripod, because what sets it apart is, here we go. I don't know if you can see that screen. We've got this amazing interactive touch screen on here. So if I just go back to the home button, you can see that our recipes through Cookie Do are all laid out in terms of time. Got a call coming through, so I've just dropped them. It's probably my mum. She always manages to call me when I'm doing one of these, no matter what time of day. So we've got time, temperature, and speed. And if you think about it, that's really, when you cook in the traditional way at a hob, that is all you are doing. It is a function of those three different things: time, temperature, and speed. So let's have a look. If I swipe across that screen, These are all the kind of the preset modes that we've got. So yes, we can use it as weighing scales independently. You never need to weigh another item on weighing scales again. It's amazing, and it makes cooking so much easier. We've got a dough function. It will knead dough in 3 minutes. It is life-changing, that particular function. That's the turbo, a bit like a pulse on a food processor for sort of chopping nuts, chopping coffee beans. It will clean itself. Usually everybody's favorite function. So not only does this machine shop for you, because you can, a bit like with these meal delivery boxes, you can select from our recipe planner, which is called Cookie Do. Oh, hang on, we've gone back onto Sarah. Oh, let me go back onto myself. Okay. So you can select from Cookie Do exactly what you want to cook. You can do it on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis, even on a yearly basis. From that, once you've selected your meals, you can then transfer the ingredients of those meals into an ingredient shopping list. It will then sync to your online shopping provider, and those ingredients will be ordered for direct delivery to your door. So all you've got to do is put them away and then get out and get your Thermomix to cook your meal for you. And then it washes itself up at the end. How amazing is that? Right, let's get back to it. So it's a blender. You can boil your eggs with this machine. And yeah, okay, most people can boil eggs in a saucepan, but you can't determine to laser sharp precision how you want your yolks, whether you want them soft, whether you want them medium, whether you want them firm, whether you want them hard. The Thermomix will do it all for you, and it will do it faultlessly every single time. You can use it as a kettle. Okay, so quite useful. I have a motorhome. We travel quite a lot, and we spend a lot of time in France when we're able to. And I always take a Thermomix with me because it just replaces absolutely everything else that I need. So having that kettle function is really useful because we don't need to take a kettle with us. So you've got the warm up, which does what it says on the tin. You've got a thicker mode. One of my favorite modes. If you want to make a hollandaise, you just shove all your ingredients in: butter, egg yolks, vinegar or lemon juice and sugar. Press thicken. 12 minutes later, you will come back to a perfect hollandaise. It is absolutely genius, and it has saved me so much time and stress in the kitchen when I'm catering for dinner parties. And you've got the rice cooker there, so a rice cook. You can ferment yogurt with it, you can slow cook, and you can use it as a sous vide machine. So they are the main functions. Then if we go into the menu, so this is what sets this machine apart from pretty much everything else that you can buy. And I will show you Cookie Do through the laptop screen a little bit later on. But through this machine, you have got access. If I just search on here for something, you've got access to 66,000 recipes and counting, which appear directly on your touchscreen. So say if I just wanted to cook chicken, I'm going to put chicken in there, press search, and it's going to bring me up all the chicken results. Now that is in the UK. So if I just take my filters off, scroll down, and I hope they are going to sort these out as a default. I'm going to take my UK filter off and just click on English. So this is going to pick up all the recipes over the world, so in all our English speaking markets. And now all of a sudden we've got over 1,000 recipes. So that just brings me up my recipe. So I have a look through there, and it's a lot easier when you're doing this through our app rather than on the touch screen. I have a look through there and I think, oh, right, I'm going to cook that tonight. So I just press that, and then I click start cooking, and then it will launch my recipe and it will take me straight into it. And it literally, as you can see, walks you step by step through the instructions. Okay, so if I come back out of there, because I want to just go very quickly into my weekly planner. So you can see, so you can do things like, we've got a recipe collection. So this is all controlled through the app, which you have access to on a phone or a tablet or a desktop. And you can create your own collections. So you can see these are some of my collections here. And if I just pick one of them, so this is me going through Cookie Do saying, oh, I really like that particular recipe. I'm going to add it into my breads collection. So I've created my own collection. You can see the sorts of recipes that I've got in there. Lots and lots of really nice stuff. So you can create your own folders, but you've also got all the Thermomix cookery books on this that you can have access to through the machine. So if you save them to your Cookie Do account, you can then access these recipes directly through the screen. So what have I got here? I like to show, I know it's not very Christmassy at the moment, but this is one of my favorite cookbooks, the Thermomix Christmas. And it just shows you've got collections ranging from about 10 recipes up to about 60 recipes. So Thermomix will bring out new collections every single month. We have at least 4 or 5 collections released to the market every month. And they're just on a whole variety of different themes. And as you can see, some really lovely recipes in there. Okay, so that is just a whirlwind overview of Cookie Do and what you have access to through your screen. And then if you go back to my week, so this is where I've said to Cookie Do, I've had a look through my recipes and I think, right, I am going to cook these meals today. So I put into my planner the pork meatballs. I actually ended up doing that last night for the kids. They were very happy with me. But today I'm going to be cooking this Moroccan chicken and couscous salad with a dressing. This Hearts Entwined loaf, which is just right for Valentine's Day, and some butter. So I've set it to cook all of these things today. So if I wanted to, then I can transfer all the ingredients over to a shopping list. I can add and amend it as necessary, and then I can shoot that over to my online shopping provider as well. So that is just a very whirlwind guide to Cookie Do, but I want to get cooking now. So it's 7:45, and I know that's what you all want to see. So I want to show you exactly how this machine works. So I'm going to go back into my week. And I'm going to pull up the first recipe. I want to get started on this Moroccan chicken and couscous salad because there's going to be a bit of cooking time involved here. So I load that and then I'm going to press start cooking. And so what it's going to tell me, you can see on this screen, it's going to tell me exactly what to do. So it's so simple, even children can use it. Now I've just taken the lid off, so it's wanting me to reset my scales. So I'm going to just zero that off. And then it wants me to weigh in 30 grams of Parmesan cheese. So that's going to go in. So as you can see, the scale's just counting straight up. I'm just going to put in my Parmesan. I've gone over, it won't matter. It's not going to tell me off. Then I'm going to click next. It wants me to add a garlic clove. So that goes in. I've just dropped a garlic clove in. Then this is going to make a bit of a loud noise. But this is always something that blows people's mind, is how quickly it grates Parmesan. So I could put a whole pack of Parmesan in there, and in 10 seconds, I will have just grated Parmesan cheese. I'm going to show you what that looks like in just a minute, but I just wanted you to have a look at my dials. So when I put that lid on, this recipe is telling me it's preset to cook for 10 seconds without any temperature being applied, because of course we're just grating it, we're just using that grinding function. And then it was preset to speed 9. Well, I overrode that and did speed 10 because I just wanted it more finely ground. So let me just show you what's happened. So there we go, we've got perfectly grated Parmesan in there. That's an awful lot easier than grinding it by hand. Okay, so click on next. It's telling me to scrape down the sides with a spatula. So if you've got children, it really is idiot proof, or people that can't cook, that it might not occur to them. You just need to scrape down the sides. Then it's wanting me to weigh in some sun-dried tomatoes. So I'm just going to clip you back onto my cradle, and then hopefully it just turn you around. And of course, and then you can see the machine as it is with me operating it. And of course, my husband couldn't resist. He's fiddled with my laptop. So I don't even know if you can see the other view from the laptop, but never mind. So it's asking me to now put in, so I'm going to make a dressing to start with, and then I'm going to use the machine to cook with. So I'm making this dressing. It's asking me to put in about 100 grams of sun-dried tomatoes. So they're going to go straight in. I've not done this recipe before, and you know, often I'll cook things at demos that I know work really well, that show off all the features of the machine. But one of the real benefits of Thermomix is you are guaranteed restaurant quality food. So as long as you follow the instruction and the recipe, you are guaranteed a restaurant quality result, which means it gives nervous cooks confidence. And people like me can safely cook on a demo whilst 40, 50 people are watching, in the knowledge that nothing is going to go wrong. Now I say that, so hopefully it's still going to work out fine. I might just have a random child in the background. Right, so, and now it wants me to put in half a red pepper. I didn't actually manage to buy any red peppers today, but I've got a few bits that I have lurking in the bottom of my fridge from dinner yesterday. So I'm going to stick those in as well. 120 grams of raw cashew nuts. So let's put those in. So again, the scales are on. They reset to 0 before every step. And I just need to weigh straight in. So it makes it super easy. You're not hunting around the kitchen for separate sets of weighing scales and bowls to weigh into, or spoons, whatever you need. You could do it all in this one bowl. So it minimizes the washing up, and then it washes itself up at the end. And now my children are all yelling at each other upstairs. Hang on, I am just going to shut the door. Right, excellent. Okay, 10 grams of white wine vinegar. So that's going to go straight in, and I'm just going to weigh it. And then put the lid on, click on next, and it's just going to ask me to give it a few blasts on turbo. 5 blasts. That was 2, 3, 4. And I can hear the blades have spun out a little bit, so it's not going to be doing anything there. And I'll show you what's happened. That was just 5 1-second blasts on turbo. So I'm quite intrigued by this salad dressing, I must admit, but there you go. So that's these blades, when they're going on full wax, spin at 250 kilometers an hour. So, you know, the power in this machine is the reason why things get cooked and done a lot more quickly. So if you are busy and you haven't got time to cook, again, these machines are ideal, because it just means that you can get an awful lot more done in your limited time. Right, now it wants me to add in some lemon juice. So I've got some lemon juice here that I squeezed out earlier. It's asking me for 100 grams and telling me I'm looking for approximately 2 to 3 lemons. Now, I mean, anybody can follow a recipe, but actually from talking to my customers, and one customer in particular who resisted this machine for 2 years, and I finally convinced her to get one in September, and she hasn't looked back. She said to me, what it's meant for her is that she just doesn't have to think about cooking anymore. And although she loves it, it means she doesn't have to worry about if she puts her eggs on to boil. It would be in her mind somewhere thinking, oh, I must check them. Are they ready? When you've got a Thermomix, you don't have any of that, because it takes all over that kind of intense thought out of it, and just frees you up to do other things. So if you've got children, you can spend more time with them. If you're running a business, you can spend more time in your business, but you still get that satisfaction of cooking. So that's my lemon juice has gone in. Now 50 grams of olive oil. So let me just grab that from behind. And my scales have reset to 0. So I'm going to put in the olive oil. Now, people do say that Thermomix recipes do use quite a lot of oil. You can we're making a salad dressing, so I would expect to see a lot of olive oil, but you can comfortably reduce the oil in a lot of the cooked recipes. And some more white wine vinegar. There we go. So this is a really interesting dressing, and I'm excited to try it actually a little bit later on. It's asking me to put the lid on, insert the measuring cup into mixing bowl lid, and then turn the speed selector to speed 6 and then away. Click on next, transfer dressing into a jug and set aside. Well, I've just got a little bowl here. So it's quite a thick dressing, but we are going to dress the chicken with this. So that is, again, what I would expect to see. It's not like a runny salad dressing. So I'm just going to get my, I don't need to dirty that bowl. I may as well put it in the lemon bowl. Here we are. Let's just turn you around a little bit so you can see everything. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to scrape it out into the bowl. And there we go. In about 2 minutes, I've got this really good dressing that I'm going to dress my chicken with once it's cooked. And then we're just going to be able to continue on cooking with the Thermomix. So We're not having to use lots of different equipment. Everything is done in this one bowl. And you'll notice, and Sarah hopefully will show you this later with the cake, there's a little bit stuck around the bottom. So how I deal with that is I just put the lid back on, go onto turbo. So I select the function myself and then just spin the blades a couple of times. Like a centrifuge, it will just throw everything off to the sides. Okay. Oh, and I mustn't forget to press home afterwards. So you can see now the blades are clear. So all I need to do is just scrape around the sides and just pick up that those last remaining bits of dressing. So that is my dressing done. Okay, so that's the first step of the recipe. I'm going to put this back on the cradle, come back and click on next. Okay, so now it wants me to put the Veroma dish into position. So this Veroma dish, make sure you're angled onto there. Lots of bits of equipment behind me. Okay, so this is our Veroma dish. So this is one of the accessories that comes with the Thermomix. So when you buy a Thermomix, everything that you need is included. So I'm going to put the Veroma dish into position. Just click on next, and it's now asking me to weigh in 400 grams of pumpkin. So I didn't get pumpkin, I've got butternut squash. That's going to be fine. So that is going to go in. So I'm using this as a set of weighing scales. So I'm just going to put in 400 grams. Take a little bit out. Oh, adds a little bit more. Okay. Now weigh into the Veroma dish. So let me go and get my Veroma dish. Oh, no, I think that is the dish. It wants me to weigh in some chicken breasts. Cut into cubes, 2 centimeters. So I'm just going to add my chicken breast, which I've already diced up, straight into the Veroma like that, on top of the butternut squash. Okay, this is what we call multi-level cooking. So and you'll see, so whilst we're cooking a soup in the bottom, then the residual heat from cooking the soup is going to rise and it is going to cook what has been placed in the Veroma dish on top. Just going to wash my hands because I've handled raw chicken. Okay. So click on next. I can see Henrietta's answering a question already. That's great. Now it wants me to put the Veroma tray on. So this is the tray. Again, it is part of the accessories that come with the Thermomix. Insert the Veroma tray, then line with a piece of wet, well-wrung baking paper. So that goes in there. Click on next and weigh in 160 grams of couscous, rinsed and drained. So this is a little bit more actually. Just going to break that up. I always like having either couscous or quinoa in my fridge because it means I can make salads really easily at lunchtime or in the evening. So I'm just going to break it up with my fingers. And again, this is like the traditional way of cooking couscous. It's going to be steamed. So if you've been to Morocco or North Africa, you'll often find that the couscouses will be cooked over the cooking receptacle, which is cooking the stew underneath. And it is the same principle here as well. Okay, spread couscous evenly with a spatula. Right, okay, well, I've used my fingers. It's pretty even. And then set the Veroma aside. So I'm going to take that off and just put it to one side and put it back there. Click on next. So now it wants me to chop some coriander. I haven't got any coriander. Well, I have, but it's gone in the fridge and I haven't got time to wash it now. So I'm just going to miss out that step and I'll chop it up by hand while Sarah's cooking. But it wants me to put the coriander in, so it will chop it up for me. Okay, now it's asking me to weigh in to the main bowl 520 grams of sweet potatoes, peeled and cut into reasonably large chunks. So it's given me 4 to 5 centimeters. So here we go. So I'm going in with the sweet potato. That's all going in. So we're going to be making a soup in the bottom. Okay, Alana. I did pre-cook the couscous, but the recipe doesn't call for that. So I generally have couscous anyway sat around, so it was pre-cooked, but all this is going to do is steam it, but it would steam through in the time. Okay, 130 grams of dried red lentils. So here are my red lentils going in, and my scales have reset to 0, but that was a good spot that you spotted that have been cooked. There we are. And then 1,250 grams of water. Ooh. Let me just grab some water out of my boiling water tap. You're going to hear the tap running. And the last time I did this at a demo, somebody thought I'd gone to the toilet, but I promise I haven't. Okay, so let's add in the water. Don't think that would be quite enough. I'm going to pour that in my bowl. Try not to get it everywhere. The pour on this jug is a nightmare. There's always one jug in my kitchen which doesn't pour nicely, and it's that one. Okay, so I'm just going to top it up with a little bit of cool water just for speed, so we get there. Okay, there we are. That's done it. Okay, so click on next. So I've put the sweet potato in. I'll add the coriander in a minute once we go back to Sarah. Then it's asking me to put in some vegetable stock paste. So this is something that I make, and all Thermomix owners make in their Thermomix. Look at that. I've got a huge Kilner jar full of fresh vegetable stock paste. This is one of the real sort of money saving tips that we give our customers. So you can make this stock paste from sort of vegetable scraps. There's kind of leftover bits, even if you want to put peelings in there, save peelings, leftover bits of vegetables from chopping and tailing vegetables, all go into this vegetable stock paste. So you throw in the raw vegetables, then you puree it with a Thermomix, then you add in a lot of salt, and then the Thermomix will cook it down and stir it for about 40 minutes until it's reduced. And then you've just got to put it in a Kilner jar like this and then use it direct from the fridge. It lasts for months. In fact, I have it just sitting on the side. Because of the salt content, it will preserve it. But this really does add a level of flavour to your dishes that takes them to another level. And it's something for nothing. Often we have Thermomix owners buy Thermomixes to make things like this from scratch, because lots of the commercial stock cubes contain yeast and gluten, and which frankly don't need to be in there. So this just allows them to control exactly what is in their food and to make something from scratch, often out of nothing. So it saves money as well, and it saves packaging, because of course you haven't got the foil and the cardboard that you would be buying sort of commercially made stock cubes in. So that's gone in there. Some sea salt. I'll put a little bit of salt in, although I have put quite a lot of stock in. But there we go. Got quite a lot of sweet potatoes in. And now it wants me to put a serving bowl on the mixing bowl lid. And so here's my serving bowl. So now you're going to see it used as a set of weighing scales. Weigh in 150 to 200 grams of fresh baby spinach leaves. I need some of these for demo tomorrow, so I'm perhaps not going to put in quite the amount, but I'll go for about 100 grams, something like that. There we are. Now, 50 grams of dried cranberries or raisins. So this is a Moroccan salad. 50 grams, so I've got some raisins here. I shouldn't have put them in. I don't think the apricots go in. I don't know where the apricots go, but maybe they will. I'm just trying to pick out the raisins from the apricots now and wish I'd have put them in a separate bowl. Okay, set the serving bowl aside. So this means that it's just been used as a set of weighing scales. I've weighed directly into the bowl that I'm going to be serving in, and I'm going to put it aside. Now it wants me to come back and put the Varoma dish in position. So this is the dish where I've got the butternut squash and the chicken, and then the couscous finally. And now I want you to see this, because so I've got it all layered up. My couscous there, obviously the chicken. Oh, Don't want to pour my couscous out the back, and the butternut squash in there, and then the soup base in the bottom. And you can do this. So I do often at demos a salmon. So I steam salmon and make a sauce, or make a hollandaise, or steam vegetables at the same time, or steam rice at the same time. So this is all about multi-level cooking, which sort of saves on washing up, but it saves on space, it saves on your time. And you know, it's a really easy, great method to cook with. So now you'll notice that my dials are now reading 17 minutes. It's currently sitting at 45 degrees because, of course, I cooled that boiling water down, but it's going to reach what we call Varoma temperature, which is, this is the Varoma unit. So that's our steaming temperature. And I'm just going to turn that to speed 1. So at that point, I can step away. I know that my dinner is going to be precisely cooked and temperature controlled. I don't have to worry about it. I won't have to worry about whether the chicken is cooked. I know as long as I follow those instructions to the letter, that my chicken and everything else will be cooked within the time that's set. Okay, so that is that stage out of the way. Now, whilst that's cooking away, I just wanted to come very quickly on, and this machine is shut down. So let's just turn you round. I just wanted to come on to show you how I make butter, which is always quite fun. And I did have some double cream. I didn't put this on the menu, but I can then use the butter to make the bread. And again, it minimizes washing up because I will just continue to make the bread dough in the same bowl that has been used to make the butter. So just wait for my machine to come to life. Let me have a quick look on the chat while it's done that. I'm sure Henry. So Pam, oh, thank you, Pam. And yeah, and it's lovely. So Pam is one of my customers and just put a lovely comment in the chat. So, you know, one of the things, the great things about having a Thermomix actually is that the community that you join. So it's not like when you just buy a KitchenAid or, you know, another kitchen appliance or a dishwasher, and then you kind of wander out of the shop or the showroom, get back home, and your piece of equipment is delivered, and you're left thinking, oh, how do I use that? When you buy a Thermomix, you've got a trained advisor, someone like Sarah or someone like me, to really hold your hand through those initial stages of getting to know it. Our job is to help you get the best out of it, and then we're on hand as much or as little as you need to help you at any stage of your journey. So you don't just buy a Thermomix, you also get an advisor as well. So I am going to just call up in my week fresh butter. So you'll notice I'm putting the whisk in. So let me just pop the whisk in. So that is what the bowl looks like inside. It is just a set of blades, and the bowl comes apart really easily. I'll show you that when we do the dough. That goes in. And then I'm just going to call up my butter, click on start cooking. It's asked me to put the butterfly whisk in. So it's step by step, you can't really go wrong. And then it's asking me to put in 500 grams of cream. So I'm going to put in my entire tub. And this needs to be at room temperature, actually. If you try and, little chef's trick for you, if you try and whisk double cream when it's really cold from the fridge, it's very difficult to over whip it. Okay, and it's very difficult to get it to turn to butter. However, if your cream is at room temperature, you will make butter reasonably quickly if you are whisking it. So my lid goes on, I just click on next. My dials are set for 1 minute and it wants me to turn it to speed 3.5, and off it goes. So very quickly, so this is a minute. Sometimes it takes up to 2 minutes, just depending on the age and the temperature of the cream. I'm hoping this is going to split out quite quickly. I can hear the gears change, and I can hear that I've got double cream now, effectively. So that's taken me not double cream, whipped cream. So that's taken me about 15 seconds to get to whipped cream. Now the machine is wobbling, which suggests to me that the buttermilk is splitting out. But I will let it run for another 30 seconds and just show you. In fact, I'm going to stop it and have a sneaky peek. Oh yeah, there we go. It's done. Fabulous. So that took all of about 30 seconds. So can you see I've got the butter and split out into the buttermilk. Right. Okay, so what I'm just going to show you what to do when that you've got that, so if I can work out how I want to take my tripod, I need to unplug. I think I'm going to unplug my phone actually. You can add salt, absolutely. You can add flavorings, you can add all sorts of things. Right, I'm just going to give you a different view of my kitchen, and the lights will go dark, but I'm just going to plug in over here where I take you over to my sink. I have done the washing up. Oh, there we go. Right, let's try and plug in here. So the light will go back on again. There we are. Lovely. You can add garlic, you can add parsley, you can add sun-dried tomatoes, you can add gherkins, you can add capers. You can do all sorts of things with that butter. And you can actually add things like gorgonzola. There are loads of recipes on Cookie that will walk you through all those different flavour combinations. Right, so here's my, well, I promise I'm going to let Sarah have a chance this evening to do this. I'm just looking for my least favourite jug because actually works quite well with the simmering basket. So this is the simmering basket. Again, it's an accessory that comes with the Thermomix. It sits inside that inside the main Thermomix bowl, and you can cook rice in here where you're cooking something else, or you can cook vegetables. That's what it's usually used for. We're going to see it used as a strainer. So Sarah's going to strain some lemonade with it. But it's also really good to be used as a sieve. So all I'm going to do, let me angle you down a little bit. Okay, so there you can see, I haven't quite got as good an apron on as Sarah. I'm just going to tip out my butter into there. I'm not going to worry too much about the little bit that's left in the bottom, because actually I'm going to come on to make some bread dough very quickly. Let's just pop that there and then give my hands a little wash. You can use gloves for this if you want to. Little latex gloves just to ensure that your hands are really clean. Just going to show you what to do with that butter. So I am going to, I'm just going to get my tap running actually. Squeeze out as much, can you see that buttermilk coming out? And this isn't really buttermilk in the true sense. This is just sort of full cream milk at this point in time. It's fresh milk. So this can be then used in baking or in coffee or on cereal or in porridge. So again, a little bit of how Thermomix can save you money, because I can make, this will make 350 grams of fresh butter, and it will cost me the price of 500 or 600 grams of double cream, which is about £1.80, I think, at the moment. So that is cheaper. You'll get 350 grams of butter for £1.80, fresh, homemade, kind of farm fresh butter, and then the milk that splits out of it, which is again something for nothing that you can use in baking, just a little bit extra, and that is cheaper than buying a block of butter in the supermarket. And how much fun is that to make? So when I was doing some cooking with one of my children a couple of weeks ago for homeschooling, they had a little DT project to make some fairy cakes and some butter icing. We didn't actually have any butter in the house, but I had some double cream. I said to Alexa, right, we're going to make butter as well. So she was the only child in her class that not only made the cakes, but we made the butter to go in the cakes and the butter icing. So that's got quite a lot of the milk out. So now I'm just going to wash it under the tap. So I haven't gone mad. I'm just washing my butter. I'm washing it with cold water. So this just gets the remaining buttermilk out, and it's the buttermilk that actually turns the butter slightly rancid and means that it won't keep for as long as it can do. So you want to just spend a few minutes just washing that out with the cold water. I'm not going to worry about it too much right now because I want to make sure that we get on to the rest of the demo. And as therapeutic as it is for me doing this, it's wonderful to feel. It's not quite as interesting for you. All right, there we go. So 350 grams of fresh butter and buttermilk that I'm going to use. Now, let's get a plate, and I'm going to just come back to the Thermomix. And hopefully, let's see if I can just bring you back like that. Oh, have I got a long enough cable? Yeah, I might be all right, actually. Let's see. Okay, so we're back here. And now what I want to do is I've made my butter, so I'm just going to come out of that. I'm going to come back into my week, and I'm just going to set the bread dough off for the Hearts Entwined loaf. So I'm going to press start cooking, and it's asking me to put some full cream, 130 grams of full cream milk. So I'm going to just add the milk that I've just split out of my cream, 130 grams. The rest will go in a coffee tomorrow. Put that on the side. Okay, click on next. Then 60 grams of unsalted butter. So this is fresh unsalted butter. So that's going to go in, just weigh it straight in. And then the Thermomix is going to take over and it's going to heat that up for me. Okay, so it's taking 3 minutes. It's preset for 60 degrees and I'm just going to turn that to speed 1. Okay, right, so whilst that heats up, I think I'm going to hand over at this point to Sarah to start her first recipe. So let me just pin you, Sarah. I have to find you all the way down. Hang on. Why can't I find Sarah? Henry, oh, there she is, there we are. Right, spotlight for everybody. Fabulous. So I'll leave this cooking away and over we go to Sarah.
Hi, right, my turn. I'm going to attempt a lemon drizzle cake. Hopefully I can't mess up a lemon drizzle cake. And this is where, because I'm not a cook, I'm not a trained chef. As I say, I didn't enjoy cooking because I had no confidence in it. But right, let's give it a go. Right, the lemon drizzle cake. I've gone to my screen. I've got in lemon drizzle cake recipe already in there. I'll press start cooking. If I preheat oven to 170, it's telling me line a loaf tin. All done. 2 lemons. 2 lemons. The peelings, the skin only. That. Then actually, I'm going to just save a bit of time. Just pop all the sugar in because I know the sugar's next. So 175 grams of the sugar. And then it's telling me to put the lid on. Oh God, hang on, there we go. Lid on. And then it's 10 seconds. It's going to be a speed of 10 seconds on speed 10. And this will give me icing sugar. So that's just plain granulated sugar that's gone in. So I'll go for the 10 seconds. There we go. Next, so scrape down the sides. I'll give it one more spin and then I'll show you. Next, done that bit. Oh, the butter. Here we go. Right, I'm going to put everything else in. So I've got the butter. This is what I love about it, that you know, well, I know we all know what goes in a lemon drizzle cake, but with all the other recipes, you know what's going into your food.
Sarah, have you ground the sugar? Did you show people that you can make icing sugar in 10 seconds? Does it look icing sugar-ish?
Icing sugar, she's got the lemon peel in there.
Yeah, no, that's, yeah, absolutely brilliant.
There. And then the butter, 3 large eggs. Oh, the eggs are here. I already cracked them into that earlier. I made sure I didn't leave any shells in the, so I don't crack them directly in, so I just don't get any shells in there. Right, insert measuring cups, I put the lid on. Next, right, 20 seconds on speed 5. When you twist the thing, you can't go above speed 5. Just turn it. It's a bit noisy. 10 seconds. Right, here we go. 1, 2. Okay. Next. Oh, now the flour. 175 grams of the self-raising flour. I've taken the lid off. I have roughly done 175 grams, but you can see it zeros again to the weighing scale. Yeah, that's near enough. press next. The milk, oh, the milk, hang on. That's one thing I did forget to get ready. Right, 20 grams of milk. So it zeroed itself again. Oh, I've gone a bit too far now. Perhaps be a bit of a moist cake. Right, next. Right, put the lid back on. And then it's going to spin for 15 seconds on speed 5, and I just spin it. And that's it. And hopefully, I should have a batter. And this is done. Okay, press next. I've got to just scrape down the sides again. Sorry. They always choose to pick the right moment, don't they? Right, here we go. Scrape down the sides next. The lid on. And then it's going to do another 15 seconds on speed 5. I'm just literally following the step-by-step guide. You can't go wrong. That's why I love it. Okay. Next. Right, then it's all done. I'll show you the batter. There we go. And I'll pop it into here. I lined this earlier, being very organised. Not really like me, but there we go.
So Jill's just asked a question, say, is that the Thermomix spatula? And yes, we even give you a spatula when you spend nearly £1,200 on a Thermomix. Aren't we generous? So you even get one of our spatulas. But it's very good for things like portioning dough and also getting mixture out of a bowl. So Sarah, I don't know if you've discovered that turbo function yet. You can just put it back on. Yep, perfect.
Yep. No, I have. I'm going to do that just to get the rest of the batter off the blades. There we go. Right, I'm going to go on to Alfie. Do you want to just change the? Okay, I'm going to go onto the turbo setting here. I'm just going to spin it a couple of times. Oh, I've done seconds. Hang on, we have to go onto turbo, the speed. I'll do it once more. Then I'll go back. Hang on, open it up. There we go. That's it. Back up. Hang on. And then we've got the blades clean again. And then I can just get the rest off the sides of the bowl. And then I'm lucky we've got an agar, so I just pop it in the bottom of the agar for 45 minutes. I have got what I did earlier, finished product in case we got done before that. So there's my lemon drizzle cake. I'll put it in the agar. So I just love the fact that, with Lyndsay making the butter earlier, you know what's going in your food. So if you're gluten free, you have any food allergies, you can just leave that stuff out. And on the Cookie Do platform, there are recipes to cover all of that. There's 66,000 recipes on there, and there's also recipe books on there. So gluten free, plant-based, all of the recipe books are in the Cookie Do apps. So you can choose menus from there, and you know what's going in your food. If you don't like something, leave it out. That's what I love so much about it. And especially at the moment, with being in lockdown, the kids and Miles, the husband, they go and eat biscuits out of the cupboard the whole time and always snacking on the processed stuff and everything. So now I've got into a really good thing of making some really healthy nibbles, some fruit and nut squares, you put a bit of the cocoa powder in there, and it's chocolate, and they don't realise there's dates and bananas and everything else in there, and their faces are just looking shocked because it's not they know. But that's what I like about it so much, and it's just, you know, you can do your healthy eating with it, and it just that's what I just love about this whole process, that you know what goes in your food. And you can make, I made Nutella last weekend because my daughter loves Nutella. So I thought, no, I'm going to make some homemade stuff. Did it in this, took no time at all, followed the recipe. And, you know, you don't use the palm oil, you know, they use the ground nut oil. And it's just it's just healthier. Okay, we don't all want to be eating chocolate spread, but when you've got somebody demanding it, you know, they can have it now and again. And it's just nicer to have been able to make it, and it's so much cheaper.
And your kids know what's in it as well, which is brilliant, isn't
that's
it?
the thing, you know what's in it. It's a fraction of the price, and we you know, we just love it. And peanut butter.
Yeah, you can make all your nut butters. Okay, right. So Sarah, I'm just going to take over from you again and just show people the bread, the next stage of the bread. So let me just spotlight me. Okay, right. So I've heated up the milk and the butter to, I think, sort of 40 degrees body temperature, which is like the optimal temperature to ferment bread. Then just going to take the lid off. It's going to ask me to put in the rest of the ingredients. So I have just got them already weighed out here. So it's asking for yeast, sugar, salt and flour. So I'm just going to pop them all in because I've got them pre-weighed just to speed things up a little bit. You don't need to see me weighing in 325 grams of flour, etc. So that's all in there. I need to just crack an egg in. So this is a slightly enriched dough. And it's absolutely delicious. I did these a couple of weeks ago for another demo we were doing, and I made so many of them. I ended up giving one away to every one of my neighbours, and they all commented on how delicious the bread was. So I'm just going to get that yeast in there because it seems to stuck to the sides. Okay, so put the lid on, and then this is going to show you the super fast knead function. So first of all, I'm just going to mix it all together. So it's just going to take 10 seconds to mix it. And then the knead function is going to come on. That's going to mix it into a ball. Often I don't bother with that. I just skip straight through to the knead. Okay. Here's my knead function. And all I do is just turn the speed selector dial to start it off. So I'm just going to move that out of the way, and I'm going to show you. So I roast some bread earlier. So what I'm going to do with this, we're going to make like a little Valentine's heart. I have to see if I can remember how to do this. So I got my dough, I let it proof for an hour. All the instructions were on the Thermomix, so I don't have to think about what do I do. Then it will tell me to divide the dough into 2 portions. So I weigh those portions to make sure they're absolutely equal. And then it wants you to roll it out to a sort of a rope. And I think that's about the right length. So that's what I've got so far. I'm just going to get my baking sheet ready. I'm going to see, I tried to do this back to front the other day and it did sort of work. Remember what I'm doing. So let me just move that out the way, and I'm going to just angle you down. In fact, I think I might just turn you around like that. No, doesn't like that at all. What about that way around? Yeah, that's better. There we go. So hopefully you can see the work surface now. So what I'm going to attempt to do is make some intertwined hearts. I'm going to show you how easy it is. And this bread is really effective. And actually my little 10-year-old girl made a set of this a couple of weeks ago and was really proud of herself. So I'm going to shape the first one like a heart. That looks a little bit like a heart. Then I'm going to shape the second one around it. So I want to just kind of gauge where I'm going to do this. So if you can see, I've just laid that rope over this one. I'm going to go back underneath, and then I'm just going to join them at the bottom. And then I'm just going to make that one look as heart-shaped as possible. A bit like that. How does that look from, I can't actually see what it looks like. Can you see? Like little intertwined heart. How easy was that? Done in kind of less than 5 minutes, really. And now all I'm going to do is just put my cling film over. And again, you know, don't think to yourself, oh, she's a trained chef, she knows exactly what to do. All the instructions are on the front of the screen. And actually, I was out for a walk with a friend and my dog a couple of weeks ago, and I suddenly thought to myself, oh, I wanted to have a practice with this before I did a demo a couple of weekends ago. So I phoned Alexa, who is 10, who was homeschooling, and I said, Alexa, can you just make me up some dough, please, using the Thermomix, get all the ingredients out. And she made all the dough so that it had risen. And when I came back in with the dogs, she then was able to make the hearts herself, which was amazing. So there we are. Even the children, it's so simple, children can follow it. So all I'm going to do is just put a little bit of grease cling film on there. And you won't see the finished item tonight because I actually was going to do this first and then change my mind so I could get on with the main course. But if you want to follow me on Facebook, or I'm sure Sarah will share the finished photos with you, I'll bake this later and then share the pictures tomorrow on my Facebook and Instagram page. So that's my Thermomix Whiz Instagram and Facebook. Okay, so handily, the bread is kneaded away. There's my dough. Can you see that absolutely beautiful dough? Made with my own butter and my own buttermilk. And I'm just going to leave that. This is a stainless steel bowl, so this will keep the contents warm. So I'm just going to allow that to ferment in the bowl for about half an hour. So another lucky set of neighbours is going to get a set of intertwined hearts tomorrow for breakfast. Because believe it or not, most of my family don't like bread. So they've got somebody who absolutely loves cooking and spends my life cooking, and nobody wants to eat what I make. So there we go. So let me just take you to the next Thermomix before I hand back over to Sarah again. So this is finished cooking. It's done a 17-minute cook time whilst we were doing other things. So now I just need to click on next, and it's asking me to remove the aroma. And oh, hang on, I haven't done that bit. Let me just go back. I was just getting ahead of myself. So it's done the 17 minutes cook time. Now it wants me to lightly stir the chicken and the pumpkin inside. So there we go. So you can see that the chicken looks cooked. I'm just going to get my Thermomix spatula and I am going to just give that a stir, pumpkin and chicken all together. And it doesn't look terribly appetizing at the moment, but it will be transformed with the dressing that I'm going to put on it. And you'll notice where I've taken that couscous tray off, I've used the lid as like a tray for the underneath of the base, so it doesn't drip water everywhere. So these machines are German designed, German built, and really they are they've thought of absolutely everything. It's designed to be multifunctional. You can use different pieces of the appliance for other purposes like sieves and colanders, and then you can even use the lid of the Baroma unit as a tray. So I'm going to pop that back on because it's asking me to put the lid back on again. And then it's going to cook for another 7 minutes because that pumpkin isn't quite cooked. And then the sweet potato soup is, of course, still cooking away in there. So while that's cooking away, I'm going to hand back to Sarah again, who is going to make, Sarah, are you going to do lemonade or are you going to do the berry foam?
No, I'll do the lemonade.
Okay. All right, let me just spotlight you then. There we go, again.
I love this one. Right, so I'm going to make some lemonade. Right, 2 to 3 lemons into the bowl. I don't need to squeeze them, peel them, anything. Just literally cut the lemons in half and pop them in. And there we go. Next, 100 grams of caster sugar. It's zeroed itself on the scales again. I think this is about right in there. Yeah. Oh, look at that, spot on. Right, next, 500 grams of water chilled. Okay. Right, here we go. And this, you can put half clean water, half still water, and then half sparkling. If you want a bit more fizz in it. But actually it's so zingy like this, I don't think there's any need to. So then press next, lid on. Oh, I have to hold this. I think Right, now 2 seconds this is going to take. At speed 10. Okay, so spin it around. Pressing next. Oh, another 500 grams of water. There we go. I add a bit more water. I've just taken the lid off, so I'll zero it myself. You just press the tar. Another 500 grams of water. Go. This is a bit like filling your car up. There you go. You want to get it bang in the spot. Right. Next. Oh, hang on. Insert simmering basket. Here we go. Insert our simmering basket.
Sarah, just make sure you've got it so that the vent bit is facing the pouring part of the mixing bowl. Is that how you put it in? Perfect.
That bit there. And then pour it into a jug. There we go. So the spatula also turns into a handle. So there we go. And then obviously the basket is being used as a strainer. I'll turn it that way. And there we have 2-second lemonade. And it's really tasty. I did it the other night as a practice, and it's just better with a bit of vodka, a bit of gin. There we go. And I'll show you what we have left in the bottom. So we have all the bits of the lemon left. Nothing.
Okay, so I've just had a question about the blades being sharpened, and the answer to that is I've had my Thermomixes, well, one of them for coming up for 3 years, and I use mine professionally day in, day out, and my blades are still as sharp as they were the day I bought them. So no. So
there we have it, lemonade. It's quick and as easy as that. You could do that anywhere. So once you've got your lemons and a bit of water, you do a little bit of decoration. There you go, that's my chef bit. Getting all carried away now. But what I also with the cookie dough, you don't just have the cookie dough on the machine, it is an app on your phone. So if you're out and about shopping or waiting to pick the kids up from school when they finally go out, and you want to go through what you'd like for supper tonight, you can just go through your app on the phone, and that connects when you get home to the screen, to the Thermomix. Which makes
I can show people cookie dough actually. I might as well do that now. If I just come over, and then I can show people what cookie dough looks like. So are you going to have a sip of your lemonade, Sarah? You can put vodka in it if you want. Vodka or gin or...
No, I've been very good in February.
So last summer I was doing watermelon lemonade and strawberry lemonade for the children when they were homeschooling. Absolutely delicious. Look, you've even got your glass there. So let me just go back to my Zoom. I don't know where it's gone. Where has Zoom gone? Here we go. Okay, so I want to spotlight in fact, I might not want to spotlight that at all. I can probably share screen directly from here. So let's share my screen. Okay. Oh, no, don't want to show you the car. Where's cookie dough gone? Help. I might need to. Can you all see my screen at the moment with Google?
Yes.
Yeah, brilliant. .co.uk. Let's click on that. Okay, so this is cookie dough. I'm just going to log in. I thought I had all of this done, but it's obviously reset itself. Okay, let me just put in my password. There we go. So this is cookie dough. And as you can see, it's personalized to me. So it will select recipes it thinks I'm interested in cooking based on what it has seen me search for and my past browsing and cooking history. So here I've had a bit of a health kick over the last few weeks, and I've done a lot of plant-based food. So it's selecting some of these recipes. I don't know what the eggnog ice cream is doing there, but it's obviously there to tempt me. Okay, so it'll show us the latest recipes. And then it will show you what people are most cooking in the UK this particular week. It will pull up a little recipe spotlight for you. So it's a bit like reading the Waitrose Food Illustrated. We've got cookery classes and workshops on here. So what we were finding was lots of people were fine with actually using their Thermomix to make pastry and bread dough, but actually once it was done, they found it more difficult to follow the instructions. So we've now got some masterclasses on here to show you exactly how to do things like blind bake, line flan cases, make bread, shape bread, etc. So this is all provided to you free of charge through Cookie Do. These are our latest cookery books. What are the Thermomix's favorite recipes? And then we've got sort of articles. So you can just have a browse through. Like I said, it's like reading a really lovely glossy food magazine. Okay. So remember I showed you my screen at the start. If I go back to my recipes and click on top here, these are so I've got bookmarks, which are my favorites. So these are recipes that I want to hand straight away, and I haven't hidden them. They probably are part of a collection, but it just means these are my favorite recipes that I've just pulled out into a bookmark folder. And I have to say, zoodles with broccoli pesto actually isn't one of them. I think I might have just put that there as an example during a demo. These chorizo and chicken burgers, though, are one of them. One of my favorites. They are really tasty. So here are all my saved collections. So these are the Thermomix recipes. The Thermomix collections, which are written by Thermomix and released as publication. No, they're not. These are my created recipes. Hang on. Let me just go back up to the top. Okay, I'm not very good on a laptop, actually. I don't want to highlight everything. So these are my created folders. So you can see as we scroll down, I showed you what was in my folders. So I've got lots of things that I've created for myself. Oh, I've even got one, if we go down there, called random stuff. So there's a whole amazing selection of things in here, ranging from pumpkin donut figures, chili taco dip, steamed frankfurters, to your own condensed milk, to butterbeer from Harry Potter, from Hogwarts. You can make your own butterbeer, which I just thought sounded amazing. So I saved that. Chip shop curry sauce, Big Mac style sauce, so loads of really kind of random recipes. Then if you go onto your saved folders, these are all the collections that Thermomix publish, so ranging from sort of short collections to main cookery books. So this family table one, for example, is lovely, actually. Some really nice recipes. So if I just click on there, it will just show you all the recipes in that book. So you can, if you want to, you've seen a recipe that you like to cook, you can click on those three dots and you can say, oh, I'm going to cook that one today. So there it goes. It's gone into my weekly planner. Oh, I might actually fancy cooking it at the weekend as well. It'd be quite a nice little brunch dish. So let's put it on for Saturday. Save that. That spinach and mushroom lasagna looks really nice. I'm going to put that in for tomorrow night. That's going to be my dinner tomorrow night. So I'm going to save that. So you can do that. So you can save, you can bookmark. Here you go, bookmark, add to the collection, add to your week. Then once you've got things added to your week, if you just come up to my week, so you'll see this looks exactly the same as the interface on my screen. And from here, so I've got a few things now added to my planner. Can you see I've got a shopping list? Let me just move you out of the way over the other side. So I've got a shopping list, okay? So from all of those ingredients, from the recipes that I have added to my shopping list, let me just put the Hearts Entwined loaf on so you can see that automatically update. There it goes into my shopping list. I can then go, okay, I'm going to have a quick look at my ingredients on that shopping list. So it either organizes it by category, but I find it more helpful by recipes. So you'll see there's quite a lot of vegan stuff on here because that's what I've been cooking recently. So if I think, okay, I've got flour, I'm just going to delete that. I've got that, I've got eggs, I don't need that, I've got milk. I can amend or edit all of these ingredients, okay? Then I can add any additional items that I want. So say I want some toilet rolls, there we go, that is added to my items. Then I can just come up here and I can go, right, I've sorted out my shopping list. Let's order my ingredients. So click order ingredients, and it is going to bring up my store of choice. So here you are. So I'm going to have a look. I'm going to say, right, what will it cost me at Asda? So if I was to add all of those ingredients to my cart at Asda, it would cost me just under £70. Okay, I'm going to change the store. Let's have a look at Waitrose. And of course, if you can make swaps, so you can swap out for other for sort of non-branded products if you want to. So this is added in the branded products, but you can swap them out. So you can see in Waitrose, it's going to cost you a little bit more. Then I can have a look at Sainsbury's if I want to, and then I can have my delivery slot booked, and then I can just synchronize my shopping list with my delivery slot, and it will order those ingredients for delivery direct to my door. And this was something that was something that we had requested for a long time, and it's just having that little bit of extra functionality, which means that the Thermomix just takes care of everything that you can imagine in the kitchen, right from planning to ordering your ingredients to cooking to washing up. So that is cookie dough, a little bit of cookie dough. So let me just come back off my screen, stop share. And I think I just want to go back over to Sarah to do her berry foam, I think. So let me just spotlight you, Sarah. I don't know where you've displayed. I need to come off the spotlight. Sarah, there we are.
Hey.
So, oh no, you are on a spotlight. Yep.
I am. I'm here.
Yep. You're there. Brilliant.
Okay. So I'm going to now make my fruit ice cream. Oh, I need a bowl. Might help. This is one. So start cooking. This is a very easy one. 60 grams of sugar. This is a great one for the icing sugar. There we go. Next, insert, put the lid on. And it's going to do 15 seconds. So this will turn this just plain granulated sugar into the icing sugar. So 15 seconds on speed 10. Let's just grind it. Okay, so press next. I'll show you the icing sugar. There you go. Just so much cheaper to make it that way than buying just icing sugar. Right, 500 grams of the mixed fruit. I'm just going to zero my scales. There we go. 3, 4. There we go. And then I am going to, it wants the lid back on. 15 seconds again at speed 8. Now it's just cooked.
So is that, hang on a minute, is that blending away now?
I have used just packaged the frozen fruit there. You can freeze your own fresh fruit. So whichever you like, right?
Yeah, and again, that's great if you've got sort of fruit that's slightly past it or going past its best in your fruit bowl. You can just open freeze it on a tray and then bag it up and have it ready to make stuff like this. I mean, the frozen banana ice cream is amazing, and we do it with the salted caramel sauce often at demos. The Thermomix makes the salted caramel sauce in minutes. It's brilliant.
Yeah, it's yummy. We had that the other night. Right, I'm going to just add some single cream. You can use different sort of cream. You can use yogurt, plain yogurt, be a bit healthier, low fat stuff, but I'm just going to add some cream. Right, it's zeroed itself. 120 grams of the cream.
And you can completely miss it out as well. You can do a frozen fruit sorbet without any cream at all and just using egg white to whip it up and aerate it a little bit.
This obviously is just for the children, not for us. So now I'm going to, it says insert the spatula through the hole. So I'll just get my lid off. Now I know this, there we go. Next, so it tells you everything, step by step, everything. So it is going to do this for 40 seconds on speed 5. So you can't put the spatula completely through because the, so it won't get into the blades because it's got a stopper on. So I'm going to go speed 5. I'm just going to stir this just to make sure the cream gets in properly.
Okay, Sarah, while you're doing that, let me just put it back onto me. Let me do that. All right, so now my main course is cooked. So I've removed the aroma. It's asking me to transfer the chicken, pumpkin and couscous into the bowl with the other salad ingredients. So I'm not going to actually put all of that couscous in. I'm just going to put half of it in and just leave the rest for something else. So let me just remove that. And then I'm going to put the chicken and the pumpkin in. So let's just put a knife through this pumpkin actually and see. Hopefully I cut. Oh yes, it's beautifully cooked. So can you see I've got my knife just going beautifully through that. So that's nicely cooked. So that's just going to go on. And then the heat of those ingredients, so this is like a warm salad, is just going to soften and wilt the spinach. Okay. It also wants me to add some chopped apricots because, of course, this is a Moroccan salad. And then pour over the reserved sun-dried tomato dressing and combine. So here's my dressing. That's just going to go over the top. And then all I'm going to do, might keep some of that back actually, is just toss that together. Right, so, and I'll get on with that while Sarah, I'll come back to Sarah so that she can show you the frozen fruit ice cream. While that is doing so, okay, let me spotlight Sarah.
So,
brilliant.
There we have the frozen fruit ice cream. Oh, it's delicious, right? And there we go. And again, you know what's gone in it. You know, especially if you use and freeze your own fresh fruit. Obviously, perhaps try and leave the cream out, but a bit healthier. There we go. We need a little bit of lemon and mint in there. And I will get a spoon. Somebody take my spoon. Massive spoon. It's excellent. And then you can just, with the ice cream, you can put it into a container and just put it in the freezer. And just, you know, again, another bit of a freezer filler, as we always seem to have ice cream in there. Again, I just love the fact that you know what goes in it. And also with these machines, particularly like Lyndsay said earlier, if you're out and about, especially these days on the staycations, if you're going glamping, or as long as you've got power, you can take it wherever you like. And as long as you've got the ingredients, you know, it just makes life so much easier. And I wish I had one when I was spending weeks away in the horse box. You know, you'd always end up eating pasta or, you know, just something very easy. Where here, one of my favourite to cook on here is risotto. Because risotto, I'd never ever dare attempt a risotto. You have to stand over it, you have to add into it and everything else. With the risotto, you literally pop everything in it, turn it on, and it's done.
Yeah, it stirs it for you. And with that frozen fruit ice cream, one of the things I always find children say, especially if you've got kids, is, what's for pudding, mum? And I'll say fruit, and I go, oh God, not fruit again. But then I say, okay, we'll make some frozen fruit ice cream, which is literally a little bit of sugar. And if you don't want to use the sugar, you can also use a frozen banana if you want to, or a banana just for sweetness. and then churn up the frozen fruit, and they think that they're eating proper ice cream. It's wonderful. We did that a lot last summer when it was really hot, just in the middle of the afternoon, just whip up a bit of ice cream. And also from that recipe, if you put your whisk in and then whip it up for about 3 minutes, you get something called berry foam, which is basically like a fruity mousse. It's an absolute dream to eat. It's completely delicious. So I'll just show you that. That's my salad. So again, you know, this is, it might not be something that you choose to cook, but it just shows the versatility of the Thermomix. And like Sarah said, I often do risottos, I do curries, so you can do curries from scratch in here, right from toasting and grinding your own spice mixes, through to making your own spice paste, through to making up the curry sauce, and then it will cook all the meat inside it. So my eldest is now 14. We've had a Thermomix for about 3 years, and he has been making curries from scratch since he was 11. And there are not many 11-year-olds out there which can safely state they know how to make a curry from scratch. And I just often, when I'm busy and I'm going out and taking my daughter to gymnastics or another son to tennis, I'll just leave all the ingredients out and say, right, can you please just get on and cook this particular recipe? And he just sits there going through the motions, cooking up a slap up restaurant quality meal, and sitting on his phone in the middle of it. And when I say, what are you doing, Jamie? He'll say, oh, Mum, I'm cooking. And I'm like, no, you're on your phone. And I think that just sums up Thermomix. It's that extra pair of hands in the kitchen, which allows you to produce restaurant quality food without really putting in the effort that you'd need to if you didn't have one of them in the kitchen. So the last stage to do on this recipe is just to puree the soup. So I'm just going to turn that to speed 7 for 30 seconds, and it's just going to blend up my soup. So let's just do that. It's going to take, I'm not going to be able to talk over this. If James laughing when he has one of these on the Saturday kitchen says, I'm not going to talk. So I'll just let it do its thing. Right, I'm bored of that now. That's had 20 seconds. Click on next. So that will be enough to have blitzed that into soup. So you can see that I've got a beautiful sweet potato and coriander soup. So I've got almost 2 litres of that, which is going to do me for lunch tomorrow and probably all of next week, because I doubt the children will want to eat that. So you've got that as a little aside as well to go with the salad. So you've got a soup, a warm salad. We've done butter. We've done, oh, let me just show you the bread very quickly. So here's my bread. Can you see that's risen now? So all I'm going to do, it's nice and puffy. So all I'm going to do is just put a little bit of water over the top. Have I got something I can stick some water in? Just brush it with a little bit of water. So I'm just going to use my hands for that. And then stick a few sea salt flakes onto it. Okay. All right. Where are my sea salt flakes? Just sprinkle it. So you could put little nuts, seeds. The actual recipe uses chopped walnuts. You could use pumpkin seeds. You could use a sort of selection of seeds if you wanted to. Again, I've got more chance of getting my family to eat it if I don't put any of those on. So I've just put a little bit of the sea salt granules with a bit of water to make them stick. And then I'm just going to put them into a hot oven, and it's going to take about 20 to 25 minutes. So that goes into the oven. So we've cooked for just over an hour. I was hoping to get it to an hour, but we've run over by about 10 minutes because I did talk to start with, but I hope you've enjoyed that. So really the final thing to say is if you're interested in ordering one of these machines, please go back. So I run these sessions on behalf of quite a few advisors in my team. So please, first of all, go back to the advisor. Now that may well be Sarah that has invited you to this demo. The Thermomix, this is what probably everybody wants to know. How do I get hold of one and how much does it cost? So Thermomix is priced at $11.49. That includes every accessory that you see me use tonight. We can either accept payment by card or credit card or debit card. We don't take American Express, but you can also spread the payment plan over 1, 2, or 3 years. Lots of people will buy Thermomixes in that way on a spread payment plan. It makes it a lot more affordable and breaks down the cost. On a 3-year plan, you are paying something like £36 a month. It's pretty much a no-brainer. That is £1.20 a day. And I know, through having done this job now for coming up for 3 years, and with all the personal customers that I have, every single person will tell you they save at least that, if not double, treble that a day. So even customers that cook from scratch will say it still saves them about £10 a week off their shopping bills. So I have a lot of people that are nervous about the cost. I would say don't be. The cost is one of the biggest barriers to purchase, but every single person, without fail, once that Thermomix arrives and they've got over the fact that they've just spent 1,200 quid on it, will say to me within days of it arriving, I wish I'd have done this sooner. Why didn't I do it when I first saw it? And I have first-hand experience of that. Sarah was a dream customer of mine because she came on one demo. This is how Sarah and I met. She came on a demo recommended by a mutual friend and went, I need one of those in my life. But usually I have to work a lot harder than that to convince people to buy. And this is why we do these demos, because actually once people see them in action, it is just mind-blowing. You haven't seen anything like this before. So we love sharing what we do. So if you love tonight and you're interested in hosting a demo on a personal basis, getting a group of 3 or 4 friends together and letting one of us show you what it can do, then you will have a free gift from us as a thank you for sharing the love for Thermomix and allowing us to do what we do best. And you'll have a little bit of fun and learn plenty of tips and tricks along the way. So I am going to stop recording now, just in case anybody has any questions that they'd like to ask that they'd rather not ask whilst we're recording. So let me just see if I can do that. Recording, stop.